I'm Seema Thomas, Pally Class of 2000, and I'm also now lucky enough to be the librarian here. I share the job with Rachel Kellerman, who couldn't be here, and then our two fantastic assistants, Debbie Henry and Ruby Leo. We're really proud to be able to keep the library open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. And we have students in there during all of those times using it in various capacities. But we are definitely busy in those after-school hours with students who stay and study and take advantage of our resources. We have many of the textbooks that they'll need for their classes to do their homework. We have an extensive print and digital collection to help with reading for pleasure and reading for research. And we're especially proud of our New York Times subscription, where every Pally student and staff has a free New York Times account for helping to connect them to all the news that is fit to print. In the library, we work with classroom teachers, especially those that specialize in research, so mostly in social studies and in English. We work with students to teach information literacy. So this whole notion of fake news might be a relatively new buzzword, but librarians have always been in the business of helping students to sift through information and separate the reliable and authoritative sources from the alternative facts. So our last piece of exciting news is that we are expecting a new library in 2 years. So thank you for voting for the bond. It's going to be beautiful. In the meantime, next year, we're going to be housed in the Student Center, which is a little bit of a downsize for us, but students will still have full access to all of our books. We'll be able to get them for the students, and we'll also be really promoting our online resources. I don't know, your 8th graders already have the Overdrive digital library in middle school. They have access to a whole new collection in high school for reading for pleasure, and then we have extensive databases and online resources as well. So we're really looking forward to seeing every single one of your students in August and to welcoming them to the library, and have a great evening. Thank you. Next we have Josh Bloom to talk about.
Thank you, Seema. So I was talking to my wife before coming here about the talk I was giving tonight, and she said, don't try to be articulate or charming or witty, just be yourself. Because publicspeakingpower.com told me that joke would kill. So I'm Josh Bloom. I'm the teacher on special assignment for social emotional learning, and I'm really excited to share with you just a little bit about our wellness efforts and our wellness program at Pally. It's something that has been a really coordinated effort for the last year and a half, and a tremendous amount has changed in the last year and a half in terms of what we do around wellness. Much of it just coordinating a lot of programs that we already had, but also introducing a lot of stuff that we didn't. So as was mentioned earlier, one of the major focus goals for the entire district is wellness and safety. But it's important to recognize, as the puzzle pieces indicate, that wellness and safety are not a separate thing, that they are directly connected to equity and access. They're directly connected to high-quality teaching and learning. So as we talk about social emotional learning, as we talk about wellness, as we talk about self-care, it's important to recognize that these are not things that are done at the expense of academics. These are things that are done in service to academics, but more importantly, in service to the human being. And that is a big thing that I think we really value here at Pally, is to really try to recognize our students and our teachers and our parents as ultimately we're human beings. We're not just roles, we're people. And that's a lot of what wellness is about. We've been really working to create sort of a coordinated set of services that increase the well-being of our student population. And one of the images that's become very popular in trying to articulate what we do is this sort of waterfall, where the waterfall sort of represents students that are in extreme crisis and are kind of on the edge. And for a while now, we've been focusing a lot on crisis intervention and certainly crisis prevention. And we have a really robust crisis intervention team, crisis response team. But as we've continued our work, we've realized that if all we do is stay at the edge of that waterfall, we're not really doing prevention. And so we need to work further upstream and coordinate those efforts. So we need to build out our services moving upstream. including sources like counseling and other support services that are available to our students, so they don't have to get to that point on the river, that they can get what they need earlier on. And what we've been doing a lot of in the last year and a half, in addition to all the wonderful work being done at those bottom 2 points, is to really begin to bring a really clear focus to creating an overall culture of well-being. So looking at our school climate, looking at our school culture, looking at what programs and events serve the well-being of all our students, and provide resources and a culture that supports help-seeking early on and long before they need to get to later points in the stream. And obviously the goal ultimately is prevention, not just of the worst outcomes, but trying to mitigate the effects of everything from depression to anxiety to bullying to harassment, substance abuse, all the types of issues you can think of that would get in the way of learning and being in a positive environment. That's what our wellness program is really focusing on, is creating a space that feels safe and promotes and supports wellness. We're really, really proud now that we have a really robust wellness team. And a lot of the pieces of this wellness team are only new in the last year and a half. And we have I feel so proud to work with such incredibly passionate, committed people to serving the whole person at Pali. So I'm just going to list these off real quick because it's quite incredible. We have a teacher on special assignment for school climate. We have a teacher on special assignment for social emotional learning. We have a school climate and social justice commissioner on the Associated Student Body, our student government. That person chairs a student wellness committee made up entirely of students who are passionate about this work. We have a wellness advisory committee made up of stakeholders, including parents as well as students. We have a wellness leadership team that includes many they mentioned above, including our guidance counselors, our school psychologists, our community-based health organizations, our school health technician. We have a wellness outreach worker, and we have a mental health and wellness coordinator. All these people work together. And that's really what we've been working on, is really coordinating these efforts. And it's really quite incredible what we've been able to do and what we still want to do and are working to do. And we really want, I think most importantly, for your students to seek to be involved in helping promote this amongst their own community, and for you as parents to be involved and to ask how it is that you can support this and how we can support you. So we just introduced this year something that we're really excited about, which is our Wellness Center. We took what was basically our health office and we turned it into something much more than just a health office. So the health office still lives here, but this is now a wellness center, and you can see this is a place that is inviting, that is relaxing, that is basically meant to be a safe and supportive space that any student can come into and just sit down and relax for a few minutes, get some tea, get a snack, and maybe if they need somebody to talk to, there's somebody they can check in with. And if they need further support, that is the point of entry for further support, or really one of the points of entry for further support. So it's really a place where they can go to if they feel the need to connect with help. And maybe the first time they go in, they're not ready to connect with that help. They're just getting familiar with the space and the people there. But our hope is that eventually, and we've seen this happen, kids will start coming in and asking for the help that they need. And we all need help at some point. And so we really want to encourage our students to ask for that help when they need it, and we want to be able to provide it. So we have on-campus programs that reach out from the Wellness Center, working with our community partners, and we really are developing this Wellness Center to be this single access point for coordinated support, for coordinated education, and coordinated services. And we work very, very closely with the guidance department. The guidance department, I say that as though there's something separate from wellness. They're not. Guidance is very much a part of our wellness efforts and is a partner in all this work. And so, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our representative for guidance.